So after a long day of Thanksgiving, and the hopes are down because the Steelers game's canceled, I'm just thinking to myself, man, I can't wait till Sunday. But during the football game against the Cowboys and the Washington football team, we all get the alert. Lamar Jackson tests positive for coronavirus. A lot of other players on that team also test positive. And honestly, what's going to happen is this game on Sunday is going to be canceled. And when I say canceled, I mean it's not going to be pushed to a later date. It's going to be canceled. But the question is, what is the NFL going to do about it? It seems like this game is very important. It is very important. The Steelers win this game. They lock up the division. The Ravens win this game. They are in contention of a wild card, a good seeded wild card. The Ravens lose. They might not even make the playoffs. So this game's very important. But what's the difference between this game and that game that the 49ers had to start all of their practice squad members? The difference is this game has two playoff teams in it and the other one doesn't. So where's the definition of fairness in that logic right there? And the answer is there isn't any. And the NFL is being unfair towards the Steelers. Not only has this team gotten screwed over by the Titans, they practiced when they weren't allowed to, and the team got COVID, and that game was canceled and postponed. But the Ravens, their coaching staff member, he gets COVID, and they don't follow the right protocols. Now this game's canceled. So the question is, should this game even be played? And the answer to that question is no. This game should be a forfeit by the Baltimore Ravens. They went against the league protocols. Their whole entire roster, basically the best players, they're not allowed to play. And both of these teams already had a bye week, so there's no chance of even trying to make up this game. So I believe the Ravens should forfeit this game, give the Steelers the win, give the Ravens the loss. Now let's say the NFL doesn't like that option and they reschedule this game. What's that going to look like? Well, it's going to look like this game being played a week after the season ends, a week before the wild card round starts. And that would be a new week, week 18. This week is not on the schedule, but if the NFL has to, it'll put it on the schedule. And the NFL stated that if a week 18 game or anything like that is even considered, and if it does happen, then they are going to add an 8th playoff team per conference. And that is unfair. They're changing the rules in the middle of the season and especially screwing over the first seed, completely eliminating their first round bye. And they would have to play on wild card weekend. Then what's the point of getting first seed if you have a chance of losing wild card weekend? Obviously you get playoff home field advantage the rest of the season, but that doesn't even matter if you don't get a bye. It just doesn't matter. Now, if this game is moved at week 18, I 100% guarantee an 8th playoffs team is going to be added. And if you look at the standings right now, that would be Baltimore. If Baltimore plays the number 1 seed Pittsburgh in the playoffs, where would that make sense? It doesn't make sense. It's basically back-to-back games between them, both at Heinz Field. That is nothing. No one would like to see that. Come on now. And after a historic season by Pittsburgh that could potentially be like 16-0, they would have to play the Baltimore Ravens wildcard weekend. Like, that's not cool. But let's say that this game is a forced forfeit by the Ravens. The NFL forces the team to forfeit the game. What is this going to look like? Well, it's going to look like an angry Pittsburgh team. They haven't had a bye week this year, and they're not going to get one, right? But what this looks like is the Ravens game's going to be canceled. And if you look at the Ravens schedule, they play the Dallas Cowboys week 13 on Thursday Night Football. This game is definitely not going to happen on Thursday, but I do believe it's going to happen during week 13. I believe this game is going to be pushed to a Tuesday or a Monday. Just like that Bills-Chiefs game. That game was scheduled to be on Thursday Night Football, but it was moved to a Tuesday or Monday. I don't remember. So something like that's going to happen. But if the NFL is quick about it, they can move a game to Thursday Night Football. And that game conveniently would be the Steelers versus Washington football team. And I say this because the Steelers, they would already have all the time off. They didn't have a game on Sunday. And the Washington football team played on Thanksgiving. So that's basically a week from that game. So it just works out perfectly if they move that game to Thursday Night Football, Week 13. So what do you think? Should the NFL force the Ravens to forfeit this game? Should they move it to Week 18? What do you think? Comment down below. Thanks for watching. Adios.